Brings you second leg action from World Cup qualifiers. It's Bahrain, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm your host Nick Webster alongside Keith Costigan. Straight to the Bahrain lineup today, and we can see that Allah Hubail gets the start. He's a big key for the Bahrainian team.
We're playing at home and he's obviously the crowd favourite here. They'll be looking to him to get a goal and maybe seal this World Cup place.
Well, Bahrain know that a 0-0 draw is good enough to send them to Germany. Sort of a defensive lineup. Look out for Asal Salman and Hussein Ali as we go to the Trinidad lineup. Big surprise today, Keith. No Russell Latterby. Why?
I would think maybe 90 minutes was a little bit too much for him. If they're still chasing the game late on, look to see Russell Latterby play the last 30 or 25 minutes.
On Saturday, Ortus Whitley had an absolute monster game. TNT will need more of the same. They simply have to score if they're going to go to Germany. Stick around. First half kickoff is coming up. You're watching World Cup qualifying action on FSC. Back to the National Stadium in Panama. Bahrain, the Kingdom of Bahrain. Bahrain taking on TNT at stake. Nothing much really, Keith, except a place in the 2006 World Cup. TNT know they've got to score. What is the key for them today?
I think the other day their possession wasn't as good as it normally is, and Trinidad will be looking to keep possession of the ball, looking to get Dwight York and Stern John involved and play from there.
And for Bahrain, very important that they don't sit back. They actually haven't won a game in their last 7. They did play Panama in a friendly, gave them a good waxing, but when it comes to World Cup play, in their Asian group, they in fact only won 1 game. They finished 3rd. But due to the fact that they had 4 points, they made it to this qualification stage, and very, very happy to come out of Port of Spain with a 1-1 draw. It really was a passionate, excited crowd there, and I think maybe the crowd helped Bahrain, didn't help TNT.
Yeah, I think judging from the early crowd, the noise here, maybe it's not a situation Bahrain are used to playing in and they revelled in it, whereas Trinidad maybe felt a little bit of pressure from their own crowd, and hopefully a little bit of pressure off them today and they can maybe play their own kind of soccer.
Dwight York will find Sid Gray. Good ball into the box. Stern John up for that one. Nice lead from Stern John. Currently playing his football for Derby County. Well travelled around the English leagues. In fact, played in Major League Soccer for the Columbus Crew for a number of seasons. Decent goal scorer.
Yeah, well travelled player, and wherever he's gone, he's been a crowd favourite because of his finishing, and he's got a great first touch too, holds the ball up really well.
Hassan Ali will play it short to Adnan. He'll thump it long to Talal. It's very important, I think, for Bahrain today to get Allah Hubail into the game. 23-year-old, striking dynamo, scores a lot of goals in Qatar. And he scored goals for the national team, but been out for some time with an ACL injury. It takes time to get back.
Yeah, definitely 7 months out in any kind of sport. It can take anything up to a year to get back to your full pace, but he has been scoring goals in the Qatar League already after his comeback, so yeah, they'll definitely be looking to get him involved.
Calvin Jack, the undisputed #1 at the moment. You don't want to see that. Anytime you let the ball bounce in the defending third, you're going to cause yourself problems, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. The minute you can clear it, you clear it. Don't let the ball bounce. It can only cause you troubles, and goalkeepers will be screaming at the defenders when they see that.
Marvin Andrews looking to thump it long. It's decent. Stern John will pick it up. Turn and fire. Hey, not a bad idea. Opening minutes of the game, maybe catch the keeper Ali Hassan napping.
And get a little bit of momentum, a little bit of attacking play by Trinidad, and a good shot off. Maybe a little bit ambitious for Stern John, but nice to see.
Well, we saw in the opening 10 minutes in the first leg in Port of Spain, TNT did some nice attacking. They had plenty of momentum, but then seemed to lose their way, and that played into Bahrain's hands, who scored from a set piece, although Chris Birchall did equalise with one of the best long-range strikes I've ever seen, and I'm sure Birchall will be up for more of the same today.
I think you definitely touched on it earlier, Nick. Trinidad did start off really well, but the crowd maybe got a little bit impatient on them, and that might have played a part in their, not as good play later on in the first half and later on in the second half.
But that's surely going to be a feature today, is patience. They've got to score, but they can't leave themselves open at the back, because we've seen Bahrain, they're fairly useful on the counter-attack. They've got some good pace. Avery John winning his side the free kick. Excuse me, Sid Gray. Marvin Andrews will look for Stern John or Kawani Jones. There is Kawani Jones. He's done well. Dwight York muscled out, and apologies for the satellite hits as Dwight York on the ball. Doesn't win the corner kick. Good pressure from Talal. Dwight York, 37 years of age. Currently playing his football for Sydney FC. So experienced, but I think what we saw from York on Saturday, he kept on dropping too deep.
Yeah, I think he almost wants it a little bit too much. He needs to stay disciplined, stay forward, and do what he's good at, holding the ball up and taking his chances.
Stern John will show. Excuse me, Kawani Jones. Here's Dwight York. Still York. Got options to his left. Decent little ball across. The first chance of the game. Could have gone anywhere. Crazy defending from Bahrain. The slip, Chris Birchall. Nice little cut turn from Chris Birchall. Still Birchall. And it's been a bright opening 5 minutes for the Soccer Warriors. John. Carlos Edwards. Needs some help on the right-hand side. Where's Sid Gray? There he is now. Disappointing cross, though.
I think Edwards was a feature of the first game. He got a lot of the ball out wide, but a lot of times Trinidad wait for something to happen. Interesting to see if he has the same kind of game, whether he gets to link up a little bit more with his other midfielders.
Ali Hassan. Talal. Getting good pressure there. Sid Gray off the back of his bonds. Will he get there? Yes, he does. Recovers nicely. Stern John showing well. Birchall can't get there, but Whitley can.
Jones and John doing a good job so far, holding the ball up and bringing the Trinidad midfielders into play. Good stuff.
Good look at Chris Birchall, 21 years old. He is a valiant. Plays his club football for Port Vale. Mohamed Habel, younger brother of Ala Habel. Adnan. Oh, there's a go. There's a go from distance. And Calvin Jack almost caught napping there, and I think he's taken out for a corner kick by the reaction from Jack.
Well, sometimes when you're embarrassed, the thing to do is scream and act like you didn't do anything wrong. But definitely almost caught out there.
Yep, is a corner kick. Long-range effort. Really a chance out of nothing. So, pressure for TNT, and we saw on Saturday, Keith, this was their Achilles heel. They could not defend set pieces to save their lives. They kept on losing markers.
Yeah, they've got to do a better job of staying with their player and winning the ball, especially players like Marvin Andrews.
On there again. Oh, and still a chance. Oh, and TNT are just having a nightmare when it comes to set pieces. It's a tough challenge there. Stern John battling away. But a glorious opportunity for Bahrain to really perhaps put this tie beyond doubt.
It just amazes me how many balls go in the box. A lot of these defenders playing in Europe should be used to long balls into the area, corner kicks and stuff. Absolutely terrible defending again by Trinidad.
Yeah, we didn't see the head up. Birchall looked like he was around there. Salman did get his, Adnan got his head on the ball. A let off for TNT. Sid Gray will find Carlos Edwards. Good ball. He'll drop to Birchall. We've seen him in that position before. Tries to strike it with his left foot. Not as successful as Saturday. Long over the top. Dennis Lawrence. So powerful and commanding in the air. Sid Gray blown for the free kick. As Talal is bundled over from behind.
Bahrain's play definitely not as fluent as it was on Saturday. We'll see how that develops as the game goes along.
Thumped in, not dealt with though. And Talal quickly onto it. Jacks had to be alert. Quick look at number 14, Salman, the goal scorer from Saturday. Stern John holding it up nicely to Birchall. Carlos Edwards on that right-hand side. He wants to be in one-on-one situations, so he can do exactly this. Great ball in. Had Bahrain stretching for just a second, and I mean, good pressure from TNT, to be honest. They have given up the foul, but it's nice to see the players buzzing around. We didn't see that so much on Saturday.
Yeah, the work rate certainly seems to be there with Russell Adapi out and with maybe an extra worker in there. They're not trying to cover for him as much as they had to on Saturday, so good work from Trinidad.
Well, I know the coach Leo Bienhager, stickler for organisation, disciplinarian. He'll have been disappointed with his team's performance, but they do have a chance now to make amends, and of course the prize is just so huge.
From what we've heard, he was very critical of some of the more senior players. I mean, we can only imagine Ladapi and York and stuff, so look for York to have a big game today.
Calvin Jacks will find his skipper Dwight York. I'm not sure if I like that long floating crossfield ball. It just seems so easy to be picked out.
Definitely, if a defender's reading the game well, it's exactly what a defender wants to see.
Sid Gray. He's got a long throw. Jones will pressure. And the pressure was enough. Edwards, quick throw in. Stern John, good control from John. Double team. He needed Carlos Edwards to come and help him again from the throw in. But a bit of a giveaway from Bahrain in the back there. Playing themselves into a pickle. No call, surprising. Edwards. Good spell from TNT. Jones to Whitley. Nice turn from Whitley. Wants some options. Finds Dwight York to Birchall. Birchall, crunching tackle. Chris Birchall scored from probably that position on Saturday. Looks like, to me, Keith, he's taken a nasty knock.
Yeah, definitely after the follow-through with the shot, he got a nasty knock. It looked like in and around the ankle, so let's hope he's okay, especially after the influence he had in the game on Saturday.
It's one of those where you strike it, your foot's unprotected, and if he's got it studs up, which he has done.
It was really late and really nasty. I'm surprised there wasn't a call on that one.
And Birchall looks to be really struggling. I'm sure his mum Jennifer is watching this game somewhere. The reason why Chris can play for TNT, his mum was born in Port of Spain.
A very proud mom after Saturday's performance.
Yeah, it was a very, very late challenge by Jalal. No whistle though. So, no free kick opportunity upcoming for TNT. I mean, these kinds of disruptions when the game stops, does it help Bahrain? Does it help TNT?
I think Bahrain want the game slowed down. They don't want Trinidad having big bouts of possession. Bahrain are looking for a stop-start kind of game, and that's what we have right now.
And thinking about the travel, who got it harder? Bahrain had to travel to Port of Spain, and then they had to make the long journey back Trinidad only have to travel once for the game as such.
I think it may cancel each other out. Bahrain did travel a week before the game, so that gave them a long time in Trinidad, but always nice to come home.
Launch long, Marvin Andrews. Lawrence will come and pressure. Avery John. Whitley's there as well. This is good stuff from TNT. They're really putting some good pressure on the ball. Jalal. Chris was actually born in England and plays his football for Port Vale, and Port Vale, not one of the more well-known teams in England, and wouldn't that be something if he ends up in the World Cup final?
I mean, the World Cup always throws up some great stories at us, and I think that's a fairy tale story right there.
Yeah, we're live now. You're doing the game. Well, we're joining the game in progress. Kick-off just a few minutes ago. Bahrain in the red. Trinidad and Tobago, the white shirts, black shorts, and this young man, Avery John, had a really inconsistent game. Moments of brilliance, but then big mistakes.
Yeah, I thought the ball in behind him cut him out a lot first half. Second half, I thought he'd done a much better job, but again, he's got to keep that second half kind of play going.
Well, I think Trinidad, with the pressure off, if they can get the early goal, that would really put the cat amongst the pigeons. And we're really looking for Stern John and Dwight York to create some of the magic that we know they're capable of playing.
Yeah, a lot of Trinidad players obviously capable of individual magic, and as you say, Nick, an early goal in this game changes the whole complexion of things. That makes Bahrain have to come out and try play and try get a goal, and we haven't really seen that yet. We haven't seen them have to come out and score goals. So
Adnan had a great game at the heart of the Bahrain defence in the first leg. It's a towering header, giving something Stern John to chase. And I'd just like to say that the nickname of Trinidad and Tobago is in fact the Soca Warriors. I got it wrong on Saturday, calling them the Soccer Warriors. Soca is an abbreviated term for the soulful calypso music that was invented on the island by Lord Shorty in the 1970s. So there you have it, football fans, the Soca Warriors. It's the nickname of TNT. And my thanks to Rupert Edwards for pointing that out. Adnan to Hassan. Nice little turn. Al-Dorsari. Talal, who's really useful down that right-hand side. Bahrain call him their David Beckham. And he's very good from set pieces, took all the corners, was involved in all the free kicks in the first leg in Port of Spain. Spectacular clearance from Avery John. Adnan. Looking for some space.
It certainly seems like a different kind of atmosphere from the crowd today, from the game we had on Saturday, Nick. You know, not as loud and as vocal early on, and maybe that's something Bahrain would like to hear. Maybe the crowd get behind them early.
Well, that's for sure. The crowd in Port of Spain, 30,000. Felt like there were 60,000 inside the stadium, and the noise and the drums, the calypso music, just pounded out for 90 minutes. Yeah, it's a very different type of atmosphere here. And long-range effort from Adnan. Jack nicely on it, and you can see that the pitch doesn't look that great, and you know, it's one of those pitches where the ball's so hard it could take a bobble, and anything that's going to come off the chest, well, Hubail would be there straight away.
Well, definitely, and Calvin Jack was not taking his eyes off that shot for a minute.
Great. Looking for Stern John and Jones. Pressure from Dwight York. Well, that's a giveaway right there. Whitley to Avery John. Whitley trying to get on the end of that again. And I know we were both very impressed with Whitley in the first leg. He really was a monster in the centre of the TNT midfield.
Yeah, I thought he had to do a lot of cover, especially for the likes of Russell Latipi. He was obviously not in the side today, but his work rate was phenomenal. I remember a last-ditch tackle laid on, so we know he's carrying a groin injury today, so it'll be interesting to see how that progresses.
Marvin Andrews dinking it forward. Nice little flick on. Chris Birchall looking to get on the end of that. Jalal being pressurised. Don't want to give a foul away there. And decent from Dwight York. That's what you want to see from your centre forward. Getting in behind the defender, making it difficult for him.
Yeah, well, I think you touched on it. We heard about him practice himself and Leo Bainhacker getting at the players, and he's really fired up. So I think we can see it right here. He's not giving up on anything.
Well, Yorkie knows that this is his last chance to make a World Cup finals. 35 years of age, currently playing for Sydney FC. And if you're a fan of Australian football, glorious news for you guys today. You have made it to the promised land for the first time since 1974, beating Uruguay on penalty kicks. And Bainhacker already issuing instructions. What do you think he's saying?
I would say that one of the main things he wants the team to do, and we read about it, that he's trying to get it done in practice, is keep possession of the ball. The more you have possession, the more you keep it, the more you drag Bahrain out from the defensive posture back there.
And this is something Bainhacker doesn't want to see. Chris Birchall, scorer of the wonder goal, limping off the field. I think he's got a hard lad, or is he done?
Well, he's looking very despondent right now. It looks like we're going to get a change here. Oh, that's bad news for Trinidad.
Absolute disaster. Birchall out. And number 16, Silvio Span, in. And the goal scorer from the first leg, he lasts just 20 minutes. And obviously, Birchall was playing more of a central role. Do you think Span will just slot in there?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure, unless they're going to change their whole formation, but I can't see Coach Bainhacker trying to do too many changes, so I reckon it's a like-for-like switch.
Looks like he's taken a knock on his right ankle. Must be quite severe, though, for him to come out in a game of this importance.
Yeah, I can't see him leaving a game like this unless it's really bad.
Andrews pumping it long, looking for Carlos Edwards, and we saw in spells Carlos Edwards really was having some joy down the right-hand side in Port of Spain, but he seemed to drift in and out of the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when he got the ball, the Trinidad player stood still and waited for something to happen instead of linking with him and giving him an option. So let's look for them to link with him.
There's a chance right now. Great defending. We do apologise for the satellite hits we are currently receiving. And that was a glorious opportunity for Jones. Great covering from Hassan. That's what you want to see from your defenders, just throwing his body in the way. That would have definitely tested Ali Hassan. Set-piece opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago. Goes to the far post. Great grab from the keeper. That's the kind of collection that gives your back four plenty of confidence.
Yeah, and he was impressive the other day too. Had some good saves and an excellent catch from the corner kick there.
Talal unable to control. And it looks to me as though TNT have settled down quite nicely in this opening going.
I don't think the atmosphere is going to phase them too much. As I said, I don't think the crowd are getting too much behind Bahrain. And Bahrain are quite happy to let Trinidad have possession of the ball. I don't think it's something they want to do for too long, because as we know, Trinidad can create some great chances.
And it really is a very strange atmosphere. It feels almost like a training game.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, you're hearing almost sporadic chants from the crowd. It's not everybody together. It's something maybe Trinidad aren't used to, but I don't think it's going to faze them in any way.
A game of such importance. We're used to crowds going absolutely berserk, and you can almost hear the players talking to each other. But now is a great opportunity for the Soca Warriors to get on the board. And Span, the substitute, looks like he'd like a piece of it. About 25 yards out. Let's call it 30. York's over it as well. Maybe a chance for Marvin Andrews. Dennis Lawrence goes to the far post. Flying clearance right there from Adnan again.
Yeah, some great defending. Bahrain in the first leg also had some very good defending. They seemed pretty good at the back in the air, you know, which is not something you normally give credit for Asian teams, but good defending right there.
Dennis Lawrence was at the far post. Adnan couldn't take any chances. Another set piece. Oh, it was a decent delivery that time. Clearance force from the line. And Dwight York seemed to give that one up. But Bahrain are not clearing. They're making a meal of this. Now you can hear the crowd. Good work from Whitley. Does he win his side the free kick? He does. And you can see Luka Peruzovic, the Bahrain coach, not happy with that decision, but that was a feature of Whitley's play in the first leg.
Oh, he was an absolute colossus in the midfield. And again, you see, I wouldn't like to come up against him because it does not look like he gives up easily.
Dwight York will bend this one in. Andrews and Lawrence will be up again. It's a floater. Allows the keeper to come, he doesn't get there. Oh, and a silly foul by Stern John. He'll be disappointed to have given that one away. But after looking so comfortable with the first couple of set pieces, Ali Hassan, he put some heart in him out there.
These are positive signs for Trinidad. I know the last round Bahrain came here and got the tie against Uzbekistan, but no disrespect, Trinidad a little bit more skillful than Uzbekistan are, and I don't think they can sit for the whole 90 minutes and expect to walk away with the 0-0 tie.
Adnan going long, and he's not finding his teammates. And the ball is in the Bahrain half of the field. Lovely play from Dwight York. Storming run down the right-hand side. Another satellite hit. Our apologies. Brought away by Hassan. And all the decisions at the moment going TNT's way. Carlos Edwards. Jones pressurising. Jones fouling.
I know we've seen some silly free kicks given away by Trinidad, but I just think it just shows how well up for the game they are. Everybody's giving 100% right now. And Bahrain just sitting a little bit too deep for my liking. We're not seeing the passing that we saw from the other day and the fluency in the counter-attacks.
Oh, letting the ball bounce in the defending third. I mean, that's a chronic mistake from international players, and it puts them under pressure. Lawrence and Andrews really not communicating too well there, and you want perfect communication from your two centre-backs.
Yeah, and I think you touched on it the other day too, Nick, about the ball bouncing in the area, so it's obviously they haven't learned from their lessons, let's say, from the first leg.
Babel. Nice ball back outside. Some trickery. But no one there at the far post. And talking about the balls bouncing in the defending third, most of these TNT players play in England, and you know it just wouldn't be allowed. Yeah,
especially in the lower leagues. I mean, you're going to see a lot of long balls into the area, and I can't see a lot of the lower level English coaches standing for that too much.
Stern John getting confused, thought he was playing cricket there for a second. Touch of handball. Here comes Whitley, and this is what he does well. Pouring forward from the back. Dwight York, one-on-one, that's where he wants to be. Tripped up, yep. Yorkie did look for it though. But he gets the decision, and that looks like Al Hubail, who is down. There we can see Dwight York. Oh, Keith. Yeah. Did he touch him?
If he did, it was very minimal. That's a harsh decision against Bahrain.
But another opportunity, and this one a little bit closer. You've got to fancy a strike on goal this time.
Yeah, I definitely think they'll be looking to test the keeper from here. I know Dwight will be all over this one, and Whitley looks like he's in and around there.
Talal wanting our referee to move the ball back, but I don't think Dwight York's going to have any of it. Ali Hassan, who 1 minute looked very assured, the next minute very, very dodgy. It'll be very important that he gets his wall absolutely spot on. Dwight York's over it. It does seem to set up for that bender into the top left-hand corner. Dwight York, what can he do? Oh, and disappointing. You want the keeper to work from that situation.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Dwight York taking those free kicks. I know he's a Trinidad captain and he's over-eager, but I've never seen him do much like that in England for Villa or Manchester United, so maybe get one of the midfielders in and around there.
And you can see his technique wasn't the best in the world either. He was leaning back the whole way.
He almost fell over.
Yeah, anytime you're leaning back, the ball's going to go up. Didn't have the dip required. Once again, we're seeing Adnan take the goal kicks, which is quite a surprise to see the centre-back stepping up to take those duties. It means he's got to do so much more running to push every ball back offside.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could think of is if the keeper's carrying a knock, but we haven't heard anything, and we've seen him take some of the other ones, so...
Spectacular clearance from Hassan. Jones. Stern John. Decent ball outside. Whitley losing control, but Kedwoods is there. This is good pressure from TNT. Stern John trying to slot an impossible ball through there. But they're up for it. Whitley. Storming run. Running out of real estate, and that is good defending. That is great defending. Oh, but a poor giveaway right there, and the pressure keeps coming. A slip. Avery John. Long-range effort. But I tell you what, Leo Beenhaker's got to be delighted 30 minutes in. His team is dominating.
Definitely so, and I'd just like to see maybe get a few more balls into the forwards' feet, you know, Stern John and Dwight York, and let them turn those defenders. We haven't seen them too much in one-on-one situations.
Now the keeper back to his duties again. Very strange system they've got going here. Yeah, it looks like he can thump it as well. Marvin Andrews coming across and wins the free kick. And I can't tell whether the crowd's getting restless or not.
That seems like a little bit upset at some of the referees' decisions. A lot of free kicks going Trinidad's way.
Oh, Stern's in. Oh, magnificent save from Ali Hassan. Stern John got in behind the back four of Bahrain, and the keeper was very, very brave.
Well, just a route long ball in. Dwight York with a great flick on, and Stern John almost getting in behind. As you said, the keeper very brave. I think he put parts of his body on the line that I don't know if I could do.
Yeah, he came out very strongly and needed to. All of a sudden, Bahrain just caught napping. And that was so nearly the opening goal. And I'll tell you what, Bahrain will not want to see their keeper go off. I don't know what the problem is here. Jones getting into it with Bashir. It'd be interesting to see what language they're speaking. Bahrain players in Arabic and English, the official language of TNT.
I guess we could say the language of football, Nick.
That's right. Looks like Ali Hassan may have winded himself, but he's kept his goal intact, and that's the most important thing. Although he's got more work to do. Another set piece for TNT. Surely they're going to make one pay. Marvin Andrews up for that one. And Ali Hassan doing very nicely. Whitley going long. Oh, and that's good work from Stern John. Oh, and he's just absolutely taken to the cleaners there. by Hassan. Excuse me, Bashir. Nice little move, dinky to the outside. And I'll tell you what, Mr. Costigan, I think that should have been a yellow card.
I definitely think that was a ruthless challenge. And Stern John and Dwight York, their work rate so far has been tremendous. They've chased down every ball, and it's been hard for Bahrain to start any kind of attack from the back. Good play.
But yet another corner, and up will come Andrews and Lawrence. Surely one of the big men from TNT is going to get on the end of this. Excuse me, free kick. Dwight York. It's all about the delivery. It's got to be swung in with pace. And there's Dennis Lawrence looking for that extra yard. And he's battling away with Adnan. Referee's not happy about it.
Of course, nobody's claiming that they've done anything wrong.
You can see he's saying, got eyes. Don't want any more of that nonsense. And then, of course, the old shake hand, slap around the head.
Yeah, everybody's friends again.
York doesn't clear the first defender. That's really disappointing.
Yeah, again, I think York's a little bit overeager today. He wants to take every throw in, every free kick. Let's get in the box. Let someone else do those things. You do the scoring.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want your prime goal scorer taking throw-ins wide out on the left. Jones pressuring. Doing a decent job. York looking for Jones. We'll find him. Nicely done. Span. That's a shocking ball. Hubal. We haven't seen anything of Ala Hubal. 23 years old, top scorer in the Asian Cup last year. He is a goal-scoring machine. Al-Dasari. Ahmed muscled out.
Looks to me like better pressure all around on the ball from Trinidad. Bahrain not as easy linking up with the forwards. The defenders pushing up well. Trinidad, maybe Marvin Andrews had a word with his other defenders, and they look to be playing like a unit back there right now.
Sid Gray. Oh, that's poor control from Carlos Edwards. But another giveaway from Bahrain, and possession stat. It's got to read something like 90% TNT. At the moment, Bahrain just can't string a couple of passes together, although that is very dangerous from Span. Almost got caught dribbling, losing the ball in his own half of the pitch.
I'm not sure if he's a central player all the time, but he doesn't look that comfortable right now on the ball in there. And again, it's a big game to come into, and nerves also play a part.
Lovely touch from Stern John. Dwight York. He's got Edwards out wide on the right. That's a good ball. Cut in from Edwards. Would like to have seen that played first time, perhaps. Edwards looking for the long throw. The little flick. Stern John couldn't bring it under. But no pattern or shape to the Bahrain play whatsoever. Ahmed losing out, and silly foul. Well, folks, this Friday, it's live. It's Fox Football Friday. Triple F Cubed, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Do not miss it. Pretty blatant foul from Ahmed. Sid Gray pumping it forward. Straight back in. Dennis Lawrence. Back to Calvin Jack, who's been almost a passenger in this game.
That's the way Leo Benhaker's going to like it right now, but the game started to get a little bit sloppy in the last 5 minutes. Trinidad need to get back doing what they were doing, which is moving around, probing with some good passing. Bahrain will still be happy with the way the game is going. It's 0-0, and the way it looks right now, they go through.
I mean, when does TNT start panicking, start throwing people forward?
I think around the 55th, 60th minute, we may see Latabi come in, and I think that's the whole idea with him starting on the bench, so he can give 30 minutes of good you know, all-out action. I don't think he is a 90-minute player anymore. So I reckon around the 60th minute, we see some changes.
Stern John battling away. Oh, dearie me, Andrews. Oh, that would have been disastrous. Ahmed on the shoulder of Andrews. I mean, to be fair, Keith, that's what Bahrain want. They want one-on-one at the back.
Yeah. It's scandalous defending. I just said they were playing as a unit. Maybe I hexed them, but you've hit the point 3 or 4 times now. The ball bouncing again. You never let the ball bounce back there. Only bad things can happen. And a lucky escape there for Trinidad.
Marvin Andrews plays his football in Scotland for Rangers, and you just know that his manager, Alex McLeish, I mean, go ballistic to see defending like that. And it's almost as though sometimes TNT, they want to play too much when instead of hoofing it into touch, they want to do something fancy with the ball.
I think you've hit the nail on the head right there. It's instead of worrying about getting the ball out, he's thinking about taking it down and playing it to the right back. So you get it clear first.
And that was Bahrain's first chance in quite some time. Big up and under. Calvin Jack. Oh, he's come for it. He's missed it. Oh, my word. And Marvin Andrews makes amends for his ricket 30 seconds earlier. And what on earth was Calvin Jack doing there?
You said he was a spectator. Well, he was a spectator on that ball too.
He's come for it. Completely misjudged the flight. TNT have waited 16 years to get in this position. Oh, and with goalkeeping like that, it'll be another 16 years before they're here again.
I know Shaka Hislop sitting on the bench. He probably has his head in his hands right now. I know that wouldn't happen with Shaka out there.
Short corner. And we saw in the first leg, Bahrain looked very useful on the corners due to the fact that TNT's defensive makeup was absolutely appalling.
It looked to me like Leo Ben Hecker had them playing maybe a little bit of zonal defence on the corner kicks. I think maybe they're better off going man for man and sticking with their runners. The other day they didn't do that, and we saw players find the gaps and create free chances in there.
I mean, what does that do for a back four when you see your keeper come in and making such a hash of it?
It doesn't make you feel comfortable when the ball's going over your head, put it that way. You like to see your goalkeeper come out and eat them up, and that should be food and drink for a goalkeeper like Calvin Jack.
Abdasori. Poor ball. Marvin Andrews going long, too long. Good pressuring from Span, though.
I would like to see Marvin maybe switch that ball up a little bit. A lot of times going straight down the middle with it. It really hasn't worked so far for Trinidad.
Sid Gray. Looking for Dwight York. Ali Hassan, very comfortable. Avery John. Talal working away on that right-hand side. Ali Hubayo showing, but not getting any joy. He shows again. Adnan pumping it. Back door. Calvin Jack, this time safe as houses. Once again, we apologise for the satellite hits we are getting from the Kingdom of Bahrain. Big challenge from Span. Ahmed. And I think we'd say he couldn't control a bag of cement on that one.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good touch, but maybe we'll put it down to the pressure by the Trinidad defence.
And a yellow card for Mohamed Habail. Looked like something he said. I think he was unhappy with Span's challenge a few seconds earlier.
Maybe he'll get the big brother onto him.
There's the challenge. Looked like a strong challenge from Span, but nothing too much. Dwight York, fancy quick feed. We'll find Avery John just a minute before half-time. Stern John, he's asked a lot, he's asked too much. Got to ask you, Keith, what's he saying to Avery John?
Well, he's disappointed. He's made a good run, and the ball, really, it's not a difficult ball to play down the line into the forward's feet. And as a forward, it's tough to keep making those runs and not get the ball to your feet. So I'm sure he's letting Avery John know the next one better be perfect.
So important for TNT not to lose patience, though. The onus on them. They know that they have to score a goal. It's as simple as that. They're going to win the tie or send it into extra time. If it does finish up 1-1, we will go to the drama of extra time, and if it's still tied up then, of course, penalty kicks. This is the day that we will know all 32 teams who will be participating in the 2006 World Cup in Germany. 4 more spots up for qualification. 3 in Europe, and this one right here. Australia have already done the business by beating Uruguay on penalty kicks. Congratulations to the Soccer